Sometimes I need power even when the place I'm parked doesn't have it. I wanted a solution for lights and power while camping or backup power at home. So when news about the Anker Solix F3000 portable power station came, it caught my eye big time.
In this full review, I'm going to use it here at home and on the road. I'll go over what it's designed to do and the ways you can use it, plus what all the ports and connections can do, as well as the ways you can keep tabs on the Solix and what it's powering. I'll wrap things up with both the pros and the cons of this device so you can see what it might be like for you. I would like to say thank you to Anker for sending me one of these units for review. My subscribers and members know that while the company may have provided this device for me to test out here at home, it hasn't had any input into this review, so these thoughts are all my own.
First thing to know is this is a huge and heavy package. It's best to unbox it where it gets delivered and you will need help. Weighing in at over 91 pounds or 41 kilos, it's a good thing it has two wheels to help make moving it a bit easier. Also inside the box are two cables, an AC charging cable and a solar panel connection cable.
Yes, you can also buy add-on solar panels for the F3000 and use the sun to keep it topped up. Now, not in the box, but important to get is the Anker app, which can help you keep tabs on your power. I'm going to get to more on that in a little bit.
Anker Solix F3000 is designed to provide power to almost anything, anywhere. The primary reason I want it is to power my vintage camper. Thanks to the special NEMA TT plug, I can directly connect my trailer and have the Anker box power all my lights and my water pump. This means the trailer can run as though it's connected to shore power. On the Solix F3000, there's also 4 standard AC plugs, so you can connect almost any appliance, or use one of the 4 USB ports. There's 2 USB-A and 2 newer USB-C. Next to that is a car socket port and what's called an Anderson DC port. Yep, the Solix F3000 will charge literally almost anything.
You can even use this to recharge an electric vehicle with the right adapter.
Let's get a look at the display screen. There are all kinds of lights that will illuminate, but only if they're needed. Your key information is going to be the total battery life in hours or days up in the top left, as well as the total battery percentage in the center. Now, when you connect something, you may also see the wattage appear in the top right corner. And when you're recharging, the total time to a full recharge shows up in the bottom left. To use your power station, you've got to turn it on first. The main power is on the front. Hold that button for 3 seconds and it should start up. When the battery level icon shows up on the LCD screen, your power station is ready to charge devices. Now, to use something, turn on the type of power you want to use, whether it's AC or the USB or the RV connection is also controlled by the AC button. Then you should just be able to plug something in and turn it on. I did run into an issue a few times where I would power on the AC plugs and plug things into them, but nothing would work. This became a bit frustrating. In some cases, it seemed like I actually needed to connect the app to the Solix F3000 box first. You can see the little pairing icon flashing there. Now, when I connected to the app, I was able to turn on the AC power outlets through the app, and then things would work. But other times, that little trick didn't work. Even the app wouldn't turn on the switches until I noticed a warning pop up along the bottom that said, please double-click the switch on the body panel to turn off the EV output. Yes, it is actually possible to accidentally double-click the AC power switch, which swaps the Solix into electric vehicle charging mode, and if you do try to use the AC outlets, they just won't work. Now, if whatever you're plugging in is not running properly, unplug everything, double-click that AC power switch, and then try plugging everything back in, and that should do it.
Now, plug and go or plug and use is kind of the easiest use for the Solix F3000 here, but it does do a variety of more complex power tasks. It can connect to your main power or work as an uninterruptible power source. Since I'm not familiar with those uses, I won't be going into them in this video. Now, how long your Anker Solix F3000 will run for you will depend greatly on what you plug into it. If you run a couple of LED lights, you'd potentially get days of use. If you're running something like a heater or a fridge, a lot less. By the way, if the output buttons are not switched off and no power loads are detected for up to 12 hours, this is called standby, and the standby duration you can change in the Anker app.
I used the Solix F3000 mainly while camping. I plugged in a Dyson fan and heater and it ran with no problems. The display will show you how long you can run whatever's plugged in, and with the Dyson running as a fan, I'd get more than 3.5 days of use, but when I switched the unit to heating, you can see how quickly the lifespan drops, and as it runs, it just continues to slice away at the total battery life. My Nespresso machine, yep, that works here with the Solix too, and it was great to bring on the camping trip. To give you an idea of what using that does to the battery, I started with 100% on the Solix, and after using the Nespresso 3 times, it had dropped to 96%.
3 more runs of the Nespresso machine and the Solix dropped to about 89% battery. So all told, making 6 rounds of coffee used about 10% of the total battery power. Now, since Nespresso has a heating element inside it, it does naturally suck up a lot more power from the Solix.
Ditto for a smaller travel hairdryer. With that heating component, just running the hairdryer alone, I'd have up to 15 hours of use. I can get a lot longer lifespan powering something like laptops, phones, or other small electronics. I did also use the Solix by plugging the camper right into it. In my testing, it provided lights for a few days away. Now, when I used it and also had my vintage 3-way refrigerator running, it dropped the runtime significantly and I only had power for about 10 hours.
I'm not really surprised my old trailer fridge is an energy hog. In a newer trailer or with a newer fridge, your mileage may vary.
I will make note that the massive weight of the Solix F3000 does make it hard to lift in and out of the trailer with one person, and while it does have those 2 wheels, they aren't really suited to dirt or gravel. Even rolling the Solix, it is a beast to maneuver. I'd really love to see Anker make the wheels a bit bigger or more rugged on a future version. Now, it does have a telescoping luggage style handle that does help a lot to move it around on flatter surfaces, particularly around the house.
I'm seriously considering adding some solar panels here so I could keep things running and recharging longer. If that is a future video you'd like to see, let me and Anker know in the comments.
While my primary use for the Solix is for off-grid camping, the Solix F3000 is a convenient backup plan if I ever lose power at home. I tried plugging in my brand new 36 cubic foot Midea refrigerator and was surprised to find the Solix could power it for as long as 2 or even 3 or more days. And of course, during a long power outage, I could also use it to charge phones, laptops, make coffee, and keep some lights on.
Anker gives you the option of adding multiple add-on batteries to boost the power duration. You can add up to 3 battery packs to boost power to over 12,000 watts, and you can even connect 2 Solix F3000s as well.
With the Anker app, you can get full remote control and information on all your connected devices. You can turn the outlets on or off as you've seen, or see what's charging. When your power does get low, you'll know it, of course. You can recharge the Solix F3000 by connecting the AC cable into the side of the box and plugging it into a standard wall outlet.
Now, if you've got solar panels, you can connect the cable and let the sun work its magic. The power station does have both a high and a low PV input port. Both of them are located in the back. The maximum solar input is 2400 watts. You can even recharge your power station here by connecting to an EV charger with the add-on Anker Solix EV charging adapter. And the F3000 can also be charged by both AC and DC simultaneously for higher input power.
When camping season is over, Anker recommends if you're not going to use the power station for a while to store it in a cool area.
Here at my home, that will mean bringing it inside here for the winter to avoid a major freeze out in the garage. If the battery charge dips below about 30%, Anker recommends you recharge it fully, and the company also recommends you recharge it about every 3 months or so to keep that battery life strong and reliable.
Overall, the Anker Solix F3000 has been a really handy device, and I've absolutely been loving it for camping.
Want some coffee? Let's go over both the pros and the cons of this device so you can see if it might be a good idea for you.
On the pro side, this is a good solution for flexible off-grid power, and it's very easy to use. You can plug plenty of things into the Solix F3000. The app connection also means you can see what's charging and how long your power station has left, depending on what it's powering. There's a multitude of options to recharge it, and you can use what's best where you are, or even combine options like AC and DC. I also appreciate how I can use this when off-grid or as an at-home backup. Downsides? I did find it too easy to accidentally switch to EV mode, which disables the outlets, and sometimes they just wouldn't turn on without the app. I don't know if weight can be considered a downside. If you need this much power, this is how big and heavy it needs to be. And the telescoping handle sure helps a lot, but I do think the wheels could maybe be a bit more rugged. And if this isn't enough power for you, that's also not really a con, particularly since you can add expansion batteries. I suppose the bigger downside might be the price of all this power.
It sells for about $25.99 US or $38.99 Canadian, and I have seen sale pricing as low as $14.99 US or $2,500 Canadian, so watch for that. In short, the Anker Solix F3000 is my new trailer bestie. I can definitely recommend it for you. You can get it from either Anker's website or from Amazon, and if you're interested in portable or off-grid power, you can also see my reviews of some Renogy and other devices right now.